In this support video, we'll be covering the Campaign Builder tool and how to use it to build out your dynamic search campaigns within the Hoot platform. We will start by defining what the Campaign Builder is. The Campaign Builder is a tool for rapidly building out structure for your dynamic search campaigns based on templates that you will define. Within these templates, you'll be able to segment by the attributes make, model, trim, and year, and you'll do that by utilizing the template variables, which are make, model, trim, and year, just denoted by the brackets on either side. The values for those make, models, and trims are pulled from a vehicle library that is hosted on the Hoot system. We start off every agency account with the default library, and that default library includes every common make, model, and trim combination for vehicles manufactured in the last 10 years. Keep in mind that we did not include many exotic makes within that default library, such as Ferraris. So if your dealership was a Ferrari dealership, you might want to utilize a custom library to add those make, models, and trims to that custom library. One important note before we move into creating an actual campaign is to cover how the Campaign Builder integrates with AdWords. And it actually doesn't. There's no connection between the Campaign Builder and your AdWords account. The Campaign Builder simply generates a bulk sheet that you will then import into AdWords Editor. Creating a Campaign Builder template is quick and easy and can be done by clicking on the Campaign Builder tab on the left UI. From here, you'll see that you have all of your templates that you've created in this master list. From this list, you can edit and duplicate templates that you've previously created, and you create a new template by clicking New Template in the top left and selecting Pre-Build Template. Today, I will be using this pre-populated template as an example for us to follow through. You can see that the templates are broken into sections: template information, campaign naming, ad group naming, ads, keywords, and ad extensions. To start, template information is made up of template name, which is just there for organizational purposes within the master template list. We like you to select your advertiser. When selecting your advertiser from your list of advertisers, you'll see that it automatically populates account ID, and normally it populates the location as well. This location is optional, and we include it as a somewhat of a fail-safe to keep you from serving to the entire United States if you do not choose more specific location targeting within AdWords. We also give you the option to choose from a select of vehicle libraries. So by default, you will have the default library, but if you so choose, you can make multiple libraries of things like RVs, exotic vehicles, or in this case, cargo vans. Selecting that library will choose what your make, model, trim variables build out based on. We also give the option to filter the entire campaign by a make filter or filters. You can simply select from our list of makes, and once selected, the make variable will only build out based upon your selections. If you do choose to use the year variable, it will be built out based on the year range you provide here. Keep in mind that a very wide year range can lead to multiplicative amounts of campaigns, ad groups, and ads. So try to keep that in mind as you build out your structure. The campaign naming section is where you'll first start to establish the structure of your campaign. In this example, I have static text, dynamic used MM, that will result in one static campaign. But if I were to use variables like make, model, trim, or year, it would create multiple campaigns based off of those variations of those variables. Campaign status should always remain active, as we do not review paused campaigns. We only review at the ad group level. Your budget, network, enhanced CPC, mobile bid modifier, and ad rotation are all up to you. These are able to be adjusted within AdWords after the fact, so you're not locking yourself into anything by making decisions right here. We continue to establish our campaign structure at the Ad Groups section. Here we can establish what variables we want to segment our ad groups by. In this example, we have make and model, but we could also include trim and year as here as well. The ad groups we always want to start as paused. We want them to start paused, that way our system can come in, turn on the active inventory, and leave the remaining paused. Max CPC bid is the choice that you can make, and again, is not locked into here. You can choose to edit this as much as you would like within AdWords after the fact. Final URLs are what we'll be reviewing every night to determine whether the ad groups have inventory or not. This structure can be helpfully found within the Help tab. Click that and it will open our help documentation where you can come to Dynamic Search, Reference CMS Guide. We have all the major CMS, and if for some reason you do not find your CMS on this list, please reach out to support and they will help you find a structure that works for your CMS. You'll see that we have all new and used. So depending on the type of campaign, in this example, we are doing a used. So we'll grab a used structure. So in this, we'll pretend that the dealer is a dealer.com. Grab the used structure, come back into the Hoop platform, and paste that final URL structure. The only thing we still have to do is replace the domain with the homepage of our site. In this case, crownnissan.com. The ads section provides 3 different options for ads: text ads, responsive search ads, and call-only ads. You can add each type of ad by clicking the blue plus and selecting. Let's take a look at the text ads. In this example, you'll see very standard text ad creation. Headline 1, 2, 3, description 1 and 2, your paths, and the ad status. We do provide this option to hide and show alternate fields. This is mainly used for the model variable. As you can see, model variables can sometimes be very short and sometimes very long depending on the model itself. So we provide this alternate to keep you from having to do a lot of cleanup within Editor. When a character limit is exceeded, it will automatically default to the alternate line. So if we were to add model to this, we would most likely extend the 30 character limit, exceeding it, and having to default to something like this. Definitely utilize this show alternate fields feature. Other than that, this should be a very standard ad creation. Again, keeping in mind that the ad status should be active. We do not review ads or campaigns, only ad groups. So campaign should be active, ads should be active, and ad groups should start out paused. You can add the same type of ads through responsive search ads, call-only ads, and they'll work very similarly. Let's take a look at call-only ads. Show optional fields. Once we're happy with our ads, we can move down to the keywords section, which again should be very familiar. We have broad, phrase, exact, and utilizing our variables, you can add as many keyword variations as you would like. The one thing to keep in note is our double plus. This double plus is put in place to modify mainly the model within the broad match type. And the reason we have this is to adapt to multiple word models. So a great example is RAM 1500. The word RAM 1500 with a single plus on the model variable would result in the word RAM 1500 being modified, whereas the double plus would modify both RAM and 1500. So please make sure to utilize at least one broad match type with the double plus on model. And keep in mind that you can use whatever keywords you would like here, and you're still free to add more keywords and negative keywords within AdWords after the fact. The last section is ad extensions. We include call extensions, site links, and callouts. You can add each of these by enabling the relative section, including the text, and in cases of site links and callouts, you can add them by clicking the blue plus to add them to your list. Once you're happy with your template, go ahead and click Save. This will drop you on the Search Templates tab within the Hoot platform. You'll notice that this is no longer within Campaign Builder. That template will exist in Campaign Builder, but Search Templates is dealer specific and will only show the templates that are related to that specific dealer. To find your template, you can use the search function or look at your list. Here we are, Crown Nissan Used PT. And let's go ahead and download this template. After a brief moment, we'll see that the template will download as a CSV. And this template can be opened in Excel, but keep in mind that if you were to save it, it would break our variables and treat them as formulas. So best to just treat it as a download. Now that we have our download, we can open up Google Ads Editor, navigate to our correct account, and then go Account, Import, from File, find the template we just downloaded, and import it. We'll see the expected output now. Finish and review changes, which was one static campaign called Dynamic Used MM with the combination of every make and model that we could expect from a standard dealership. Within each of these ad groups, we should have our expanded text ads we created, 2 variations, and we should also see our keywords. Again, noting that the keywords with double plus in multiple words were modified in both words. Once we're happy with all these, we can keep the changes and post them to AdWords. Once you have posted from AdWords Editor, you can jump into your AdWords account and you should see the campaign in place. You can see Dynamic Used MM has been imported. You can go ahead and check that campaign and take a look at our labels that we will have applied. You should now see the IM_include label automatically applied to the campaign you import from Editor. That label, in conjunction with the campaign being enabled, is what tells our system to go ahead and review every night all of those final URLs, determining whether or not the ad groups have inventory or not. If there's no inventory, it'll leave the ad group paused, or it will pause it, and if it has inventory, it will turn it on. Keep in mind that we are also looking for things like 404 pages, websites being down. So if any of those are the case, we're going to go ahead and disable the ad groups for those reasons as well. Those campaigns will continue to run until you request that our system stop by either removing the IM_include label or pausing the campaign. You at any point can come into the original template you created and edit it. Use cases for why you might want to do this are, let's say your final URL structure has changed due to a CMS change on the site. Instead of having to go through manually and updating every final URL, you can hop back in this original template and come to the Ad Group section, update the final URLs, re-download this template, post it through AdWords Editor, and it should go and update all of the final URLs within your campaign. But let's say you've made some changes at the campaign level as well to perhaps budget or mobile bid modifier, and you don't want this to overwrite the changes you've made. You could uncheck all of the sections except for the ad group section, make the change to your final URL, save and download this template with only this section enabled, and then when you post this through AdWords Editor, it will only update the ad group section. This is a very handy way to quickly go update any or all of these sections without having to do a bunch of manual work within AdWords. Campaign Builder's flexibility allows you and your team to create virtually any structure that works with your workflow. So please reach out to support if you have any questions or need help creating a structure that you have specifically in mind.